Boom! The sound echoed through the high-rise office building of Harrison & Company, a prestigious investment firm in New York City. But it wasn't a bomb that had exploded, it was the news that had spread like wildfire through the office. The billionaire CEO, Edward Harrison, was infamous for his ruthless business tactics and strict hiring policies. Today, he was interviewing candidates for a highly coveted position, and the office was buzzing with anticipation. As the candidates filed in, they couldn't help but notice the eerie atmosphere. The employees seemed tense, whispering to each other about the mysterious job posting. The requirements had been cryptic, with only a few details listed: must have exceptional skills in finance, exceptional communication skills, and a passion for innovation. But it was the fine print that had raised eyebrows: candidate must fit company culture. The phrase seemed harmless, but rumors swirled that it was code for looks matter. Many curvy black women had applied, but none had made it past the first round. Some speculated that Edward Harrison had a preference for hiring young, white, and lean professionals. The conference room was filled with an assortment of candidates, each with their own unique story. There was Alex, a young white man with a degree from Harvard, Rachel, a petite Asian woman with a background in engineering, and Jamal, a tall, dark-skinned man with a passion for finance. But as they waited for the interview to begin, they couldn't help but notice the lack of diversity in the office. The employees were predominantly white, and the few people of color seemed to be in lower-level positions. The air was thick with tension, and the candidates exchanged nervous glances. Who would be the lucky one to land the job? And what exactly did Edward Harrison mean by company culture? Just as the interview was about to start, a sudden commotion erupted outside the conference room. A candidate, a young black woman, had been turned away by the receptionist, citing she didn't fit the company image. The woman's angry voice echoed through the hallway: "I'm just as qualified as anyone else. This is racism." The room fell silent, with the candidates exchanging uneasy glances. What kind of company was Harrison & Company, really? As the woman stormed out of the office, Maya, a stunning curvy black woman with a confident stride and a bright smile, walked in, seemingly unfazed by the commotion. She took a seat, her confidence radiating like a palpable force field. Little did the candidates know, Maya was about to shake things up in more ways than one. With her impressive resume and charming personality, she was ready to take on the challenge of her life. But would she be able to overcome the biases and prejudices that seemed to be ingrained in the company's culture? Only time would tell. As Maya settled into her seat, Edward Harrison looked up from his notes, his eyes scanning her from head to toe. His expression was unreadable, but a hint of surprise flickered in his eyes. Maya, on the other hand, seemed unfazed, her confidence radiating like a palpable force field. She introduced herself with a firm handshake and a bright smile, her presence commanding attention. The other candidates couldn't help but stare, their eyes drawn to Maya's curves and striking features. Some whispered to each other, their voices barely audible, "She's not exactly the typical Harrison & Company type." Others seemed intrigued, their eyes lighting up with curiosity. As the interview began, Maya answered each question with ease, showcasing her exceptional knowledge of finance and innovative thinking. Her responses were laced with humor and humility, making her an instant favorite among the interview panel. But Edward Harrison seemed unimpressed, his expression a mask of neutrality. He probed Maya with tougher questions, testing her limits and pushing her to think outside the box. Maya, however, didn't flinch, her answers flowing effortlessly like a well-rehearsed symphony. As the interview progressed, Edward's expression softened slightly, his eyes betraying a hint of curiosity. Who was this woman, and what made her tick? Maya's background was impressive: a degree in finance from Harvard, several years of experience in top-tier firms, and a track record of innovative thinking. But it was her passion that set her apart. She spoke about finance with a fire in her belly, her words dripping with conviction. As she shared her vision for the company, the room seemed to come alive, the energy shifting in her favor. The other candidates watched in awe, their initial skepticism melting away. Maya was more than just a pretty face, she was a force to be reckoned with. As the interview drew to a close, Edward Harrison leaned back in his chair, his eyes locked onto Maya's. "Tell me, Maya, What makes you think you're the right fit for this company? The room held its breath, waiting for her response. Maya smiled, her eyes sparkling with confidence. I believe my unique perspective and skills will bring value to your team. I'm not just a candidate, I'm a solution. The room fell silent, the air thick with anticipation. Would Edward Harrison take a chance on this unexpected candidate? The room was electric with anticipation as Maya awaited Edward Harrison's response. He leaned forward, his eyes narrowing slightly as he asked, "What do you know about our company's current projects?" Maya launched into a detailed analysis of Harrison and Company's recent investments, highlighting potential areas of growth and concern. Her words were laced with insight and critical thinking, impressing even the most skeptical of observers. As the interview progressed, Edward Harrison probed Maya about her approach to problem-solving. Maya shared a story about a project she had led, where she had successfully navigated a complex financial situation. Her words painted a vivid picture, showcasing her exceptional leadership skills and innovative thinking. The room was captivated by her narrative, hanging onto her every word. But just as it seemed like the interview was going smoothly, Edward Harrison dropped a bombshell. "Maya, I've read your file, and I must say, you're an impressive candidate. But I have to ask, do you think you're suitable for our company culture?" The question hung in the air, laced with a hint of bias. Maya's eyes locked onto Edward's, her expression unwavering. "I'd like to think that my skills and passion for finance transcend physical appearance, Mr. Harrison. I'm here to bring value to your team, not to fit a specific mold." As the interview progressed, Edward Harrison probed Maya about her approach to problem-solving. Maya shared a story about a project she had led, where she had successfully navigated a complex financial situation. Her words painted a vivid picture, showcasing her exceptional leadership skills and innovative thinking. The room was captivated by her narrative, hanging onto her every word. But just as it seemed like the interview was going smoothly, Edward Harrison dropped a bombshell. "Maya, I've read your file, and I must say, you're an impressive candidate. But I have to ask, do you think you're suitable for our company culture?" The question hung in the air, laced with a hint of bias. Maya's eyes locked onto Edward's, her expression unwavering. "I'd like to think that my skills and passion for finance transcend physical appearance, Mr. Harrison. I'm here to bring value to your team, not to fit a specific mold." The room fell silent, with the other interviewers exchanging uneasy glances. Edward Harrison's expression was unreadable, but a hint of surprise flickered in his eyes. He leaned back in his chair, steepling his fingers together. "I see. Well, Maya, let's move on to the next question." The interview continued, with Maya answering each question with poise and confidence. As the session drew to a close, Edward Harrison posed one final question. "Maya, what sets you apart from other candidates?" Maya smiled, her eyes sparkling with determination. "I believe it's my unique blend of skills, experience, and passion. I'm not just looking for a job, I'm looking to make a difference." The room erupted into a flurry of activity as the interviewers began to discuss Maya's responses. Edward Harrison leaned forward, his eyes locked onto Maya's. "Thank you, Maya. We'll be in touch soon." As Maya left the conference room, she felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She had given it her all, and now all she could do was wait. But little did she know, her interview had only just begun to make waves in the company. As Maya started her new role at Harrison and Company, she quickly proved herself to be an invaluable asset to the company. She implemented innovative strategies, and her team began to flourish. However, not everyone was happy about Maya's success. Some employees began to whisper about her unqualified status, claiming that she had only been hired because of her looks. One employee, a young white woman named Emma, decided to take matters into her own hands. She began to spread rumors about Maya, claiming that she was tokenism, hired solely to fill a diversity quota. But Maya refused to be intimidated. She confronted Emma, calmly explaining that she had earned her position through hard work and determination. The confrontation ended with Emma apologizing, realizing that her own biases had blinded her to Maya's exceptional abilities. This incident marked a turning point in Maya's journey at Harrison and Company. She had single-handedly changed the dynamics of the office, proving that diversity and inclusion were essential for innovation and growth. As the days went by, the office began to transform. Maya's presence had broken the mold, and the company started to reflect on its hiring practices. Edward Harrison realized that his preconceptions had almost cost him a brilliant employee. The company began to actively seek out diverse candidates, and soon the office was filled with people from different backgrounds and perspectives. Maya's success story highlights the importance of fostering a diverse and inclusive work environment, challenging preconceptions and biases, and empowering employees to speak up and share their perspectives. Maya's journey serves as a testament to the power of determination and hard work in breaking down barriers and creating a more inclusive workplace. As Maya continued to thrive in her role, she became a shining example of what can be achieved when given the opportunity, and her impact on the company would be felt for years to come. As the months went by, Maya's impact on Harrison and Company continued to grow. She became a leader in the company, known for her innovative thinking and exceptional leadership skills. The office was transformed, with a newfound emphasis on diversity and inclusion. Employees from different backgrounds and perspectives brought fresh ideas and solutions to the table, and the company began to thrive. Edward Harrison looked back on the day Maya walked into his office with a sense of gratitude. He realized that his initial doubts had been rooted in biases and preconceptions. Maya's success had taught him the importance of giving people a chance, regardless of their background or appearance. The company began to attract top talent from all over the world, and Harrison and Company became a leader in innovation and finance. Maya's presence had broken the mold, and she had become a role model for young women and minorities everywhere. She proved that with hard work, determination, and a passion for what you do, anything is possible. Maya's legacy extended beyond her own success, inspiring others to strive for greatness. She had single-handedly changed the culture of Harrison and Company, and her impact would be felt for years to come. Maya's story is a testament to the power of perseverance and self-belief. It shows that even in the face of adversity, one person can make a difference. Her journey serves as a reminder that we all have the power to break down barriers and create positive change. As Maya looked out over the city, she knew that she had made a difference, and that was all that mattered. The future. The future looked bright for Harrison and Company, with a new generation of leaders emerging. The company continued to grow and thrive, with diversity and inclusion at its core. Maya remained a key figure, leading the company towards new heights. As the company looked to the future, one thing was certain: the mold had been broken, and there was no going back. The legacy of Maya's courage and determination would live on, inspiring others to follow in her footsteps.